Joker is DC's latest film and is based off of the iconic comic book character. And I should be completely honest when I say that I really do have a deep love for this iconic figure. Joker is one of my favorite villains, and not just comic books, but in cinema. He technically actually is my favorite cinematic villain, and that's due to Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger. They both deliver their performances as Joker phenomenally. Mainly Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger is currently my favorite Joker of all time, and he will always be. I honestly thought that when I first watched The Dark Knight, which is what I'd call one of the greatest movies ever made, Heath Ledger's performance I thought was a once in a lifetime performance. And to me, Heath Ledger's performance is kind of untouchable. But while I'm reviewing this movie, I'm going to try to not compare Joaquin Phoenix to Heath Ledger's Joker, because I think that seemed a little bit unfair. But let's dive into this movie review. So in this film, the story revolves around a man known as Arthur, who is really just a man who loves to spread laughter and joy to the community of Gotham City. And civilization in Gotham City starts to treat Arthur like legit crap, which later leads him to view that his life is not tragic, but a comedy. And he goes from being a very good man to a very, very sinister man. And then Joker is born. This movie really surprised me. I have to be completely honest. This is one of my favorite movies of the year. I seriously do mean that. Joker was a blast. I couldn't not love this movie. There's no way that I couldn't love this movie. This movie is very layered. And one of the main things that I really love about this movie is how original this movie is. And this movie isn't necessarily 100% originality in regards to story, but I will get to that later. But what I really loved about this movie is it didn't aim for going for the comics of Joker. This film decided to be its own thing and go for whatever. And I really loved that. I love how adaptations of things that already exist try to be something new and not just a giant product placement. And Joker is very original. The performances in this film are absolutely phenomenal. Along with freaking Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix. He's the icing on the cake in this film. He is so freaking good as Arthur. And I honestly think his performance is Oscar worthy. He is so good as this character in this film. And I felt bad for this character so many times. So many times I felt bad for this character. And there's for many good reasons. This film shows on what society could actually do to a person just like that. It could literally just make a person snap and go crazy without giving a single care. And this film portrayed all of that very well. And hint, this movie is called Joker. You don't really actually see the Joker for most of the film. And I actually loved that. I thought that was a giant breath of fresh air. I really loved how the film focused more on Arthur's character than just him becoming the Joker. And he doesn't become the Joker for a while. In fact, the Joker's not really in the movie that much. We just dive into the world of Arthur, really. And how his life is like and how he's being treated. And it really hurts. It really does. And as things get worse for him, he comes across things that he probably never even thought he'd come across. And he does things. He does certain actions. And when he does them, you seem to notice that he enjoys doing what he's doing because of all of these terrible people who have treated him bad. He seems to enjoy to what he's doing to Gotham. But aside from Joaquin Phoenix, all the other performances are really, really good in this movie. Robert De Niro, really excellent in this film. And I'm not going to say the role or what character he plays in this film, but really great. And I really loved all the other actors and all the other performances in this film. And some people were concerned about the level of violence that would be in Joker and stuff like that, considering this movie is rated R. And when I watched this movie is not really that violent. I expected more, honestly, like a little more, which isn't bad. This movie is not really that violent. It is, I guess, a little kind of scary in regards to storytelling and and Arthur's personality and what he eventually becomes in the film. I guess that's kind of scary, but the violence is not really that brutal in the film. And I was honestly perfectly fine with it. The thing that got to me the most was Arthur, his character, and what he eventually becomes in the film because of society. It really is kind of scary. And it makes it even more scary and realistic because Joaquin Phoenix is such a fantastic actor. And he is literally so freaking good in this film that I think the Oscars will probably just ignore him. I honestly do believe that Phoenix deserves an Oscar. He is so freaking good in this film that I believe the Oscars will just ignore him and he won't receive a nomination. That's how freaking good Joaquin Phoenix is in this film. Now, I don't want to compare Phoenix to Ledger, even though I said Ledger is my favorite Joker. But Joaquin Phoenix can be quite of a competition to Heath Ledger, actually. Phoenix does some things in this film that really make you feel bad for him. Even when he's doing bad things, he's like, Arthur, you're just like, Arthur, why? Like, there's a scene in this movie, and I'm not going to spoil what the scene is, but it involves Arthur in a hospital, and you'll know what the scene is when you see the film. But it involves Arthur in a hospital with someone, and then something just unfolds, and you're just like, Arthur, why? Just why? Like, you feel really bad for him. And it's scary to see this man turn from such a nice guy to a psychopath. And I seriously thought the film couldn't have done that in a much better way because I was riveted by this film. The cinematography alone is absolutely gorgeous to look at. This is a beautifully shot movie. The way the scenes are filmed in the city of Gotham absolutely just looks mind-boggling. I'm amazed on how beautiful this film looks, and how everything in Gotham just seems uneasy. A lot can be seriously said about this movie. It has phenomenal performances, a really, really great story, and dark themes that are very realistic, and it's a freaking comic book movie. And especially if it's Joker, you can never really go wrong with the Joker. Really, my only flaw with this movie, and this isn't even a big flaw, but it is a flaw, is that this film sort of is reminiscent in some way of another film that I know of called Taxi Driver. And if you've seen the movie Taxi Driver, which stars Robert De Niro and was released back in 1976, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. This film even has some Taxi Driver references that were straight pulled out from Taxi Driver. And in some way, this film kind of has that feeling of Taxi Driver, but I wouldn't say it's a copy and paste of Taxi Driver. It just feels a little similar. I guess that's really my only flaw with the movie. Other than that, I freaking loved the heck out of this movie. Joker is one of my favorite films of the year, and I believe that this film is going to become a big comic book movie in the future, maybe a big movie in the future in general. I can see this movie becoming a classic and inspiring many people to make movies based off of comic books. And I'm really so glad that this movie was made because we are getting to the end of 2019 soon, and we got movies like this to finish up the year that's gonna finish soon. Seriously though, guys, if you guys have plans to watch any movies, watch Joker. Even if you're not a fan of comic book movies, watch this movie and it might, who knows, it might get you into comic book movies because, man, I freaking loved this movie. And I really want to see this movie again. And Joaquin Phoenix, you are Oscar worthy. I'm going to give Joker an A. Guys, thank you guys so much for watching this review. Look forward to more reviews that I'll be doing on my channel. I'm going to be continuing Horror Movie Month. I'm planning on doing a review of Coraline. Can't wait to talk about that movie and other movies like Christine and some other Stephen King movies and other horror movies for the release of Dr. Sleep that will be releasing in November. Can't wait for that movie. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this review. You guys are the best. I love every single one of you. And look forward to more reviews that'll be coming very soon. And as always, if you're new here and you like what you see here, why not hit that subscribe button to join the EliB/520 community. And I will see you next time. Peace out.